Hello wonderful teachers, and welcome to this quick tutorial on how to add items to your gradebook and then go ahead and grade them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I've already logged into the ELC and it's brought me to the dashboard page, which is the default page that you're brought to whenever you log in. And here I have a list of all the courses that I'm enrolled in. The list is also over here, but it uses a short name, so it's a little bit easier to use this side. Now, in this case, I'm going to click on one of my courses, and oh, that's not the one I wanted. I'm going to click on one of my courses and show you around a little bit. So the first thing I need to do to get to my grades, of course, is click on Grades. Now, if at any point you notice that this menu over here is missing, there's this little symbol, or this hamburger menu as they call it right here. If you click on it, it makes it go away, or it makes it fold back out. So if you've ever noticed it missing, just click on that and you're good to go. Now by default, it's going to bring me to the grader report, which is under View. This just gives you a quick overview of all of the students and all of their grades that are currently put into the ELC. Now with this, you can actually add grades in here, though I don't necessarily suggest it because it can actually be a whole lot slower. There's a lot of lag that happens here, so I'll show you another way to do it in just a minute. But first, I want to show you how to add a grade item to the gradebook. To do that, we're going to click on Setup, and by default, we're going to be brought to Gradebook Setup. Now you'll notice that I already have my categories. I have a fall semester category. I have subcategories underneath of it that make up the fall semester's grade. Each one is worth a percentage of the grade, so that way I can put whatever assignments I want, and they can be worth however many points that I want, but they only affect the grade of, or the grade so much in any case. Now, to add a grade item, the first thing I need to do is scroll to the bottom and click on Add Grade Item. Now here I'm going to tell students what this grade is. So it could be homework for a week, it could be a test, it could be anything. So in this case, we're going to make it Test 1. And the next thing I'm going to do is come down here and choose the maximum grade. I can leave it at 100, or I can make it any other number that I want. The best thing is to always leave it under 100 though, because, or 100 and under, otherwise it can do some really strange stuff and break stuff. So I'm going to leave it at 100 in this case. The next thing I need to worry about is the grade category. Now this is important because if you don't choose a grade category, this is going to end up just at the bottom of the gradebook, and it's going to be really awkward and hard to find and could totally mess things up if you add grades to it. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click on Spring Quizzes and Tests. Once I've selected all of those items, or made choices, fill them all in, I'm going to click Save Changes. Now here, if I scroll down to Spring, where is it? Spring, here we go, Spring Quizzes and Tests. You'll see that my test that I added is right here. And you'll see how much it's worth. If I want, I can edit it from here and go back to this page that I was at before. So that way if you need to change the amount, you certainly can do that, though I don't suggest doing that after you've already added grades to it, otherwise some weird stuff can happen. But anyways, that's the easiest way to add it. Now these all are assignments, tests, whatever it is that you need students to do, so we can go in and grade any of these. Easiest way to do that is by clicking on View and then choosing Single View. Now in Single View, we're able to pick one item at a time, either one grade item, which is assignment, quiz, any of those kinds of things, or one user, so one of our students at a time. The reason that this is handy is because if you need to add multiple grades for one student, say they were sick a week, or you have a bunch of different things that you want to look at, you can just come in and add grades in for that student. Oops. And then once you do, you come to the bottom or the very top and click Save. Then the grades are saved right here and automatically update in the gradebook. It's pretty awesome. You can also move to the next student by clicking on this, or if Chris Circle wasn't the first student in the list, you could click on the next student going the other way this way. Or you can also click here and choose whatever student you want if you need to go back to a different student. Most important thing though, remember to click Save whenever you're done adding in grades. You can also select a grade item, which is especially handy because say you just did a test and you want to see all of your students, add all of those test grades in at one time. This is exactly where to do it. So you can do it by just entering in the grades. And as you can see, there's an area for feedback, so I could come over to Chris Circle and be like, great job, and make whatever comments that I want. And then once I'm finished, I just come over here again and click Save. It'll tell me that it's done it, and they're all saved and ready to go in the grade book. Now another handy trick that you can use, say that this is a homework assignment instead, and you want to just do it real quick and easy. Another way that you can do it is by hitting Perform Bulk Insert and then selecting either the empty grades, which would be like these, or all the grades, which would override anything that's currently there, and you can add in a grade. Click Save, and it automatically updates all of the grades slowly. It's loading the page, but it'll automatically upload all of the grades and you're set to go. Now unfortunately it does not do that with feedback. You do have to add the feedback in individually. However, there we go. However, you can easily copy and paste. So great job. Yep, very good job. Oops. Great job. It helps actually hit copy and paste. And then you just click Save and you are good to go. And then of course I can use these to click either on the next item that's in the grade book, or I could click on this and choose a different item in the grade book anywhere in the grade book. Now one other thing that's handy to be able to do is to check student grades in general. Now as I mentioned before, you can come into the grader report. Looks like my internet is moving kind of slow. I'm sorry about that. And in the grader report, like I mentioned before, it has the lists of students and all of the grades in one fell swoop. You can easily come scrolling through here using the scroll at the bottom, take a look at all of the different assignments and see how your students are doing, because the course total at the very end of course shows you how they're doing overall in the course. Or if you rather, you can come to user report and see a very similar thing. So what I would do is choose a student, and it'll show me their progress in the class. So as you can see, this is worth 30% of the grade. They've got 100 in it so far, so good go there. Nothing in these so far. And fortunately, the ELC is smart enough to know if something isn't filled in, don't count it. So since Chris already has 100 in this, and that's everything that he could possibly earn in this category, he has 100 in the class so far. So those are just a couple of quick tips on how to use the gradebook. If you have any questions, if you need any help along the way, just let me know. Have a wonderful day.